I think I got it remedied immediately. Give me a thumbs up
Nice.
on the internet. Holla if you hear me.
Holla. Is that Missy Elliott?
Yeah, yes, it is. Actually, more of a Thug Life featuring Tupac. Holla if you hear me. That one predates your time there, Zay.
Yeah, you got me beat.
Dude, I used to love Thug Life so much, dude. This
Thug
like
Life.
the shortest, skinniest little redheaded white boy bumping Thug Life as a teenager.
I love it. Yeah, he's outside of my range. I don't remember a Thug Life, but
It was a little
we got
one-off project by Tupac. He only did one album.
okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
he was just banging with Tupac. Okay, well, he's certified.
Yeah. Well, Thug
Well,
Life was Tupac's band. They only made one album. That's where the second you're done with this program, put on Straight Ballin'. That's one of Tupac's gems. It is the dopest
noted.
song, Straight Ballin'. It's
Noted.
yeah.
While you're at Safehouse, get me one of those. I know you got your cherry limeade. Do they still have the green chili What was it that I had last time? It was like a.
Oh man, if I had a menu within arm's reach, I'd tell you. But they're like the green chili vodka martini kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
And I was like, ever since I've had that one, whenever I go to a fast food place and I get a sandwich, anything, yeah, go ahead and throw a little bit of green chili in there. Just a little bit, not too much, okay? I want to be able to eat my sandwich. But I currently, we did a little Chick-fil-A deal earlier, and I ate one of the spicy sandwiches. And it's officially easier for me to eat green chili than like a spicy sandwich. And I guess a couple of New Mexicans have taught me that there's a huge difference between hot food and spicy food.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was a Midwest thing or it was just me being, delusional about the whole topic, ignorant about it. But I thought, they were the same thing as far as I'm concerned. If something's hot, I'm going to call it spicy. If something's spicy, I'm going to call it hot. But I guess there's flavors and a bunch of different things that factor into it. And the guy was almost offended that I called their food, I called it hot. He's like, it's not hot, it's spicy.
How long have you been here now?
I've been in New Mexico since 2019, but I was on a college campus for majority of that time. So since October is how long I've been a free man in Albuquerque.
When we first met, you used to think cinnamon gum was spicy. Like that was you couldn't eat hot tamales when you're watching a movie. Like that was too hot for you then. I'm so proud of you that you segued from cinnamon gum all the way up to mild chili. And I'm so proud of Safehouse Distilling and their green chili vodka. Like their green chili vodka was your segue into the world of green chili. You understand the excellence. You understand the sheer excellence. Yeah, it's the bottle floating right behind me right now.
Yeah, it's even a little green. That's insane.
Yeah, just green little tint. It's real green chili in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Props to Safehouse for getting that one right.
I love that a cocktail downtown at Safehouse Distilling introduced you or gave you the confidence to step into the world of green chili.
Yes, but did you ever used to eat those fireballs? They were like
atomic fireballs. Yeah, baby.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I would always get one like an idiot because my sisters would get one, and I'd want to be the cool one. I don't want to be left out.
Sure,
seem like the lame. So I'd always try to eat it, but I could never finish one of those things. I never once finished one. So it got to the point where I would start rinsing and sometimes rinse it off or scrape off the spicy or hot part. I guess there's a difference.
You'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. And it was just the sugar ball that laid underneath, and that one was fine. But the coating on top, I can't do it.
So you would drop it in a cup of water, you'd rinse it off underneath the sink, and then you'd eat it?
Yes.
You coward.
A good old thumb rub under the water, rub all the little contents off of it. No, yeah, now I'm in.
I guess I just got I've always had a super adventurous palate because as the friend of the show knows, I grew up right outside of Houston, Texas on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my Astro fandom came from. I didn't just start liking them when they started cheating. That was a bonus.
Yes.
But we would have both sides of my family are from Carlsbad, New Mexico. And every year we would have 2 bushels of green and a bushel of red. I don't know if you know what a bushel is, but it's like a whole canvas bag full of green chili. We'd have 2 bushels of green and a bushel of red freeze dried and overnighted and shipped to us in Houston so we could have a little bit of New Mexico smack in the middle of Texas.
That's a true New Mexican, because the same guy that got on me about hot and spicy, he also told me that he went on vacation one time and that he was actually having withdrawals from no green chili. So what he now does for vacations is he brings a little bit of green chili with him, and he doesn't even have to put it in a meal. He doesn't need to put it on a sandwich, put it in any mac and cheese.
Yeah, he just chops it up on the back of a toilet and pulls out his little straw.
Yes. And get this green chili in. But no, he says even just like a couple of bites of the green chili, and he just can feel it. And he's like, he can feel his nerves go away. And I didn't know green chili was really that addictive. Like, that's crazy to me.
If I go a week, I crave it. Like my body craves it. Like my palate craves it. Like I have to have it. I'm not like an everyday guy like I used to be. Just like to mix it up, I'm trying to be healthier. You know all this about me. I'm meal prepping and all that stuff. Yeah. So I don't like have it every day like I used to. But if I go more than a week, like I'm off. Like I'm literally off. Like things aren't right. Like things don't smell the same. Like the sun doesn't feel the same when it hits my skin. Like a little mild depression kicks in if I don't have my chili at least once a week. But now's the season. Like I don't want you to give away like too much about where you live. Well, is there like close to you? Are people like roasting green chili right now? Because this is the time of year. Like right when you hit the fall, like that's when the green chili starts roasting and those beautiful smells are all over the place all the time.
Okay, so considering we're in Albuquerque, I don't think saying this will give away my location too much, but there is I don't know if it's a factory or what the correct terminology would be for this place, but right outside of my apartment complex, as soon as I pull out of my gate, I've now learned that there is this green chili building, and there's always these trucks that pull in, and this says Hat's Green Chili on the side of the truck. And there's multiple ones, and sometimes I come outside and I can smell it. But yeah, there's a green chili like factory building, whatever you want to call it, right next to my apartment complex. So it's there.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, this is the time of year you smell it in the air. Like once we dip below 90 on the temp and we hit September and October, like the chili's in the air, and I absolutely love it. There's somewhere in my neighborhood who I don't know if it's just like one of my neighbors is an addict, like your friend, but like, but I'm smelling it every day already. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it sounds like that's consistent here in New Mexico, but you know what's also crazily consistent is the Chiefs, dude. And we were completely wrong.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Well, I mean, we were a toe away from being correct, though. Let that sink in. We were half of a big toe away from being correct.
Partially correct. And after the first drive, I know after the break, I'll have that the soundbite ready for likely. So I don't want to go into too much detail with it. But after the first drive, I was listening because I was here in the studio making sure that it ran smooth for the friends of the show or the fans that want to listen here on KNML. And I could hear the drive, and I heard Baltimore go right on down the field. And I thought, here's exactly what I predicted. Here we go. And then the Chiefs come out and score right away. Yeah. And I'm like, oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, okay, so this is how they're coming. There's no Super Bowl hangover. At least it doesn't appear so. Okay. They just beat a great team. And Mahomes looks like he really wants that three-peat. And I'm like shocked that he still seems so motivated. And I don't know if this guy's going to rest until he catches Tom.
I mean, he's on the trajectory now. Like he has more at his age than Tom had at his age. So the trajectory's there, and he's getting them in bunches. He's going for 3 in a row. Let's talk about the game when we get back, and let's get our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. It's enough green chili talk. It makes me want a little green chili vodka Teller martini here right now. So when we get back, we're going to unpackage last night's game. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by
I'm going to cut it up.
Giants.
In a crash, need some cash. Should be MSRP $49.91. It's like objectively the oldest grain-to-glass made in New Mexico building that there is. And that's what you ask me. And all of these barrels around here are they're full and it's aging as we speak. That is really cool. That noise in the background is the still finishing out for today. That's why we're still here.
You know, honestly, I think we went to left hand.
Okay.
So we have been
Lightning and every distillery had to do that. During the pandemic, like 3 of us at least were at a distillery outside of Austin, Texas, and same thing, 8 months of just hand sanitizer. Well, exactly. Like we. That one is like 2 years, 11 months. So it's just shy of 3 years. It's got a little bit of rye content, kind of like a little urban, so like that little bit of spices to it. And then just
Your differences from night to day takes its toll on your roof. So what do? Ignoring it isn't the right answer. A leak can cause all kinds of more expensive problems. Everguard Roofing has installed thousands of roofs, so they know what they're doing.
My bad. I
They've
thought we
also
were
got
back.
a maintenance plan to make sure you don't void your warranty. Be smart. Avoid costly damage. New Mexico's trusted roofer is Everguard Roofing at 821-9543 or everguardroofing.com.
I thought you were playing it right there, and I just couldn't hear it.
The Law Giant has been named a top 10 injury lawyer in the nation and voted a super lawyer 3 years in a row by his peers. If you were injured at work or by a bad driver, call the Law Giant today. Call the Law Giant today at 505-9000000. That's 900-0000.
Take us with you anywhere.
Well, anywhere with cell service.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store.
With Staples
Just
Hot
search
Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of
KNML.
items for back to school. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and 2-pocket poly folders are just 50 cents each. Save even more with Staples Easy Rewards program. In-store only. Offer ends 9/14, limit 10. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Traffic right now, things continue to move slow. Both directions of I-25. Southbound on I-25, you see those slowdowns start around Osuna. Northbound I-25, as you approach Central, traffic starts to move slow. Dealing with a little bit more of a slowdown right now. I-40 westbound, that's going to start around 4th Street. It'll last until Coors. Paseo, Alameda,
Okay,
Montana.
so it's
those
cut
are
up and I'm
crossings
putting it in
are
now. So
moving
give
up
me
to
like a
speed.
minute.
All right.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Welcome back to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. No matter how you listen, we appreciate you being a friend of the show, whether it's live here on 95.9 FM or AM 610, whether you're on the app, KNML app, whether you're on talkabq.com or Facebook Live or YouTube Live or Instagram Live, or you're listening in the future on Spotify or Apple or Stitcher or SoundCloud. We're on everything, and we're here for you. Thank you for being a friend of the show. First game of the year last night, Thursday night football. The Kansas City Chiefs were victorious over my Baltimore Ravens, who both me and Zay picked to be victorious in this first game. I was kind of a fool for picking against the Chiefs at home, but that's how strong my convictions are for Baltimore Ravens being the best team in the AFC this year. I think they're going to steamroll through the AFC, and a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs notwithstanding. It was a good game no matter what. IshamDentalABQ.com, $50 denture repair. They can get you a pair of dentures fitted, molded, and perfected all in one day. Check out IshamDentalABQ.com. You could just pop your name and phone number right in on the homepage, and they could set you up an appointment, whether you need dentures or maybe just look at a little hurt in your gums. Maybe one of your little teethers are hurt. check out my boy Scott Isham at Isham Dental ABQ. And without further ado, here is your Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
Bell, down to 1 play, 5 seconds to go. First four. Lamar trying to make magic happen, throw it in zone. Likely to be down. Yes! Touchdown! What a play! Isaiah Likely! Going for 2 and the win are the Ravens on opening night. Let's take 4. Oh! Is there enough to overturn? Oh, it's on the line, isn't it? I think Terry McCauley's going to have to make this call.
It was, in fact, on the line.
It was obviously on the line. I guess he better wear white shoes from now on, because that was half of a big toe. That's one of the smallest margins. And that's just a testament to the technology in the NFL right now. They got it right. They got the shot. Half of his big toe, a quarter inch of his cleat was hanging over the line. But with those sweet Deion Sanders primetime Nike cleats and they're super shiny black, it was very obvious that he did have a toe on the line. The call was overturned. The clock ran out. And the Chiefs were victorious at home the first game of the year. And it was going to be a spectacular ending because Harbaugh holding up the number 2.
Yeah, right.
They were going to go for the win. It was going to be an insanely entertaining moment to start off this NFL season. But it was negated by Isaiah Likely's giant friggin' feet.
You know, when I look at this, a lot of us blame the receiver, which is obviously not. I don't think it's a good idea in this case. I don't think it makes the most sense, because what a lot of us don't know, who didn't watch the game, 2 plays, but I thought he had maybe been like out for the season, because the fall that he took a couple plays before then, Lamar put him in awful position.
Yes.
Okay, he went up and tried to make a play, and the way he landed like made me squeamish.
It's gross.
Like, I had to turn my arm, and I didn't know if he had broke his arm or if he had ruptured a rib cage. I don't know what it was, but the fact that he came back in the game right after and then puts that type of effort in again on another catch is just insane to me. And Lamar, like the last 3 throws he put out in that game were all off target.
Yes, they were.
Okay. So the first one likely got him injured. The second one was just painfully inaccurate.
Yeah.
And he had 2 guys he could have hit.
Wide open.
Wide open, and he misses them. And then right after, I guess it's hard to overthrow Likely. He did it 2 plays before him, but then he almost did it again. And it's just like, Lamar, come on, my guy. Come on. This is the game you've had circled all offseason. These are the guys that knocked you out of the playoffs.
Yep.
You can't miss those throws in that situation. And not to jump the gun, but I think it's time we start giving Lamar that Dak Prescott treatment. I think he needs to start getting that Dak Prescott treatment. And I know he's won MVPs, but he's lost his team a good amount of games, and we forget because he's so spectacular the whole entire game.
I mean, passing and rushing, he had almost 400 yards. 270 something yards passing, 120 something yards rushing. He was an absolute dog. But when it mattered the most, he airmailed 2 wide open guys in the end zone. A throw that I don't mind telling you right now, Zay, my 42-year-old ass can make. I can throw the ball 30 yards accurately to a wide open dude. My unathletic, sorry ass can make those throws. Lamar Jackson being an NFL quarterback. Sam Darnold makes those throws.
Yes.
All right. Jared Lorenzen makes those throws. Dude, every NFL quarterback has to hit open guys. You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to be Aaron Rodgers. You don't have to have these like magical throws. You don't have to thread the needle through a tiny window. You don't have to just throw it an inch past the defender's outstretched hands and hit your receiver in the numbers. If you're Lamar Jackson, you got to hit the open guy. He did not. He put his team up against it, made it take the last play. And if it would have been a better throw on the last play, he would have been in bounds because Isaiah likely was in position to catch that ball and get a touchdown and put his team in a position to win. But it was another bad throw.
Yes, and I felt bad for likely a lot of the time, and I'm seeing the way he's carrying himself. And I tell you what, I give him props. Okay, he's not turning on his team. He's not turning on his QB as he never should. He never should. But in a lot of his frustration went towards the Chiefs, and he was upset he didn't catch it. And he did say one thing in the post-game interview, and I made a comment on social media earlier, and I got some traction. I was like, this guy has a career night, and then you ruin all your aura before the sun even comes up because you go on the podium and you do the biggest no-no. He goes up there, and he's like, well, this is the worst game we were going to play all year.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're the Chiefs, good luck in the playoffs. That's all you got. Good luck in the playoffs. I'm like, who do you know you're talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know who you're talking
Oh, the
to?
back-to-back world champions, the best quarterback on the planet, the best tight end on the planet.
Yes,
that guy,
literally.
one of the best one of the best coaches of all time. That's who you're talking to. You're calling him out. You're giving him chalkboard material in week 1. That will never be erased from the chalkboard all year. That quote is going to be up all year.
Yeah, and again, like you said, and this was the game, as far as the Chiefs are concerned, this was supposed to be their sleeper.
Yeah.
Any team that comes off a Super Bowl win, you expect their first game to be their worst game of the year.
Sure.
So they have the same argument, okay? And then you got Pat Mahomes over there, who's won 3 championships. He's gone back-to-back. And you're talking about, oh, good luck in the playoffs. You guys are the ones who need to do good in the playoffs. You guys are the ones who should be focusing on the playoffs. And I think if you're going to be Isaiah Likely, if you're going to be bitter or salty, I get you can't be publicly salty with your quarterback, but Lamar is the reason you guys lost the game. Maybe he was talking about Lamar and as far as his accuracy. This is the worst game we'll have all year because Lamar will be better and Derrick Henry will be better. Good argument. But don't go take your argument out, your anger out on the Chiefs, giving them information and food to chomp on the whole season.
Sure.
Just because your guy kept overthrowing you. Like, the Ravens should have won the game if they had an accurate quarterback.
And it seems like they're 100% agree. Like if Lamar Jackson makes the most basic of throws, and that's, look, historically that's not his game. He's been inch by inch. He's getting a better passer. He's becoming a better NFL quarterback every year, but it's slowly and it's gradual. But those throws are the ones you have to make. Wide open guys in the end zone, you cannot miss those and be a successful NFL quarterback, especially when you're the Baltimore Ravens and you have Super Bowl aspirations. And I think they're that good. I think they're the cream of the AFC in the regular season. They took 1 L against the Chiefs on the road. All right. You lost to the back-to-back Super Bowl champions in their house. No shame. No shame. But don't give them chalkboard material and make them come at you even harder next time. That is dumb. That is so dumb.
That's something you say to your teammates behind closed doors. You don't say that publicly. And I'm sure the PR team, the coaches, I know they've got to be saying the same exact thing to him. Like, you have to be smarter. And me as a Cowboys fan, as everyone listening should know by now, me as a Cowboys fan, not only do I watch Dak go through this, my favorite quarterback, Tony Romo, still also went through this to an even larger margin. Okay. He could do X's and O's all in the middle of the game. And if he didn't win, no one cared on Monday at school. No one wanted to hear about the throw he made in the second quarter. No one cared about him making a defender miss in the third quarter because he lost the game for him.
Sure.
And I had to swallow that pill every single Monday when he would have a great game and then lose. So I can't give Lamar the leeway and give him the pass. I think he needs the same expectation.
Also, if Lamar is your QB1 on your fantasy team, congratulations. You're probably going to win week 1 because he stuffed the stat sheet. We reviewed Kansas City, Baltimore. And when we get back, we're going to preview Philadelphia and Green Bay in Brazil. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
Welcome back, Duke City. We're talking football all day till we hand it over to NFL football on Westwood 1. 5:30, it goes straight to Eagles-Packers in Brazil. And we're going to have a little talk with Josh Sushan of the Albuquerque Isotopes right before that as well. But here on out, we're talking football on 2 Men On, baby.
You know what's funny about that is the other day over at KKOB, I mentioned we were doing some football buck. The callers were pissed.
Yeah.
They were not happy about that. And we just kept going casual with it. and it was a super fun time. So I like being on a station where I can do it, and it's like allowed, but it's also like a trick to it because I'm on 2 men on.
Yes,
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't don't tip your hat, Zay. Don't give them too much. They'll set unrealistic expectations. You start giving them too much NFL analysis on this program.
Yeah.
Friend of the show knows what they're getting into. Philadelphia and Green Bay, both teams who wear green, are going to Brazil, where you're not supposed to wear green.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being, Brazilian soccer club Corinthians, the team that plays in Neoquímica Arena in Sao Paulo, the first game ever to be played in South America, their rivals wear green, and they hate the color green so much. There's no green signs in their neighborhood. You can't wear green to the game. There is nothing green there. And the NFL, in their infinite wisdom, they scheduled 2 teams who wear green to play in the stadium that you can't wear green.
Yeah, and so you want to give the NFL credit because you're like, all right, you guys are spreading the game, you're spreading awareness, you're putting American football in Brazil where they all think football is soccer. Well, football is soccer there, and they have to call it American football. So that's one thing, and it's like it's cool, and you think it's a bad idea because you put Philly and Green Bay there because they both wear green. But then on top of that, there's a whole other thing that lingers on top of that. You got Green Bay and Philly going there to spread the NFL awareness, but they wear green. So it's even like, say someone there is like, oh, I like these guys. I want to order a jersey.
Yeah.
I want to order something to represent these guys. You can't do it because it's all going to have green.
Yeah.
So unless you have these guys open a whole new clothing line of only things that don't have green on them for fans in Brazil, I don't know why you would try to get fans to like those teams. Like you could have picked teams that don't have green because then they can wear the jerseys or they can wear a player they like. But now they got to go find jerseys that aren't even the team colors.
The word green is in the Packers city name. It's Green Bay, Wisconsin. If they knew you couldn't wear green in the stadium, why did they choose the team that not only wears green, the word green is in the name of their city? This is so unbelievably dumb. Speaking of like unbelievably dumb, look, I appreciate intense fandom. We have some intense fans of this program. We love you and we appreciate you. But when your fandom becomes so bad you can't wear a color, you need to look into the mirror, my friends. You need to grow the hell up. This is entertainment. These are adult men who I guarantee you, they do not care about you. For fans of whatever football team, basketball team, baseball team, and especially the Captain Insanos who love football that much,
Yes.
If you're so crazy that you can't wear a color, if you're so crazy about your team that you can't be friends with people from another part of the city who like a different team, and it results in violence, you need to look in the mirror because you're a loser of epic proportion. I love super fans. I love people who are passionate about anything, whether it's sports or music or art or their career or helping people or being part of a community, friggin' gardening, sewing. I don't care. If you're super passionate about something, I am proud of you. I got your back. I will support you until it gets to this level. You're a loser. If you try to fight someone because they have a different colored jersey on, you're a loser of such epic proportion. You need to be studied in like psychological departments in universities. That's how big of a loser you are. You should be a fan. You should support them. Hey, my team is playing tonight. The one who has the balls to wear green in the stadium, those guys with the word green in the title of their city, that's the team I like. Guess what? I'm not going to fight a Bears fan. My brother and sister-in-law are Bears fans. We talk some smack. We have fun. It doesn't affect the way we live our lives. It doesn't make us upset at each other when our other teams wins. And it'll especially never result in violence. Like these hardcore football fans in South America and Eastern Europe, that they're basically gangs. They're gangs. Like there's in Eastern Europe, I forget the name of the documentary. It's an insanely good documentary, but
Okay.
there are teams in Eastern Europe and in the Czech Republic, I believe, that are so passionate about their football teams, they have to segregate them at the stadium because so many people have died. Because each team is connected to a gang. If they see you in the wrong part of town wearing your soccer jersey, they will kill you. It is pathetic, the behavior here.
I wonder how that affects the players, because like players even feel the weight if they just make someone cry or they see upset fans, or if they have to come home and go on Twitter and see backlash. So imagine if knowing people are actually dying, because here in America, where I thought we were always, couldn't set the bar any lower. But over here, when death threats start coming out, that's when we're like, okay, all right, pump
Step
the
back,
brake,
step back.
Once whoever we're going at, once they start saying they're getting death threats, that's like when usually as a country we're like, okay, lay off of the people. Okay, now you're going way too far.
Yeah.
Or even insults usually pass by, but death threats are a big deal. So imagine knowing that people actually lose their life over it. And back to a little bit more of a funnier topic, how you noted Green Bay has green in their name.
Yeah.
The Eagles have a whole slogan called Go Green. Like they are big on environmental, and they great marketing move, by the way. But they have a big old go green thing going. And you got two teams that just green is so much of their motto.
Yes.
They had to realize this when they picked these two teams to go over there. But for me to understand that they realize that, I can't wrap my head around how that's supposed to have the NFL be any bigger in Brazil, because they can't wear any of these teams.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Maybe they want the fans to say, okay, well, these guys wear green. Who else do they have that doesn't wear green? Maybe it's to make them focus on everybody else, because they're like, okay, well, we're not going to be fans of that team, but the game was cool. Like the game it was a fun game. We liked the way it looked. We liked the environment. So maybe bring some guys that don't wear green.
Yeah, the Eagles, they submitted to the demands of the people. The Eagles are wearing black helmets, black jerseys, and white pants. But my boys, Green Bay, literally, I'll say it again, has the word green in the name of their city, are wearing their green jerseys and yellow pants. I mean, at least they stood up for their morals and say, no, we're not bending to the will of these maniacs. We're not going to bend. It's in the name. I'll say it again. They're the cheeseheads in Green Bay. They're not going to submit to these maniacs and wear some other color than the only color that they've worn in the history of their franchise. It is pathetic that people act like this, that people go this hard on something they have no control over. Look, it's entertainment. These people, I guarantee you, do not care about you. The owner, the front office, the players on the field, they're happy you're there. They're happy you buy jerseys. They're happy you buy season tickets. They're happy you're a fan instead of being a fan of their rival. They don't care about you. Your behavior, as long as you don't hurt anyone, as long as it doesn't affect your mental health, hey, go crazy. But the second you start committing violence and you can't wear colors, grow up. Look in the mirror.
We got friend of the show Dan on the line, wants to hop on with the boys.
All right, friend of the show Dan, what's happening, my friend?
What's up, big brother?
Danny boy, what it do?
Hey, I have a couple of questions. This game tonight, are all teams required to play an out-of-the-country game at some point, or do they volunteer, or do they pay them extra? Or because this, to me, it is absolutely ridiculous to have these guys playing in a country like Brazil, man. It makes no sense to me. It's a violent place. Can they even go out at night after dark?
Yeah, well, Darius Slay, he was in an interview. I mean, I know it's not up to the players because he was not happy about it.
Sure.
He's one of the captains of the Eagles. And he was saying, like, number one, why are you putting us in a dangerous area? You know, it wasn't even about the colors.
Right.
It's like Brazil, apparently it's so bad that the players are not even going outside of the hotels.
They're being escorted. They have to have police and military escorts to travel around.
A couple of friends from Brazil, that aren't in Brazil anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they as far as they're concerned, they're flabbergasted that these teams are going over there to play over there. You know what I mean? It is a very dangerous place. I was just wondering if they had to make a commitment, or if they pay them extra, or how all that works. You know what I mean?
Dan, I'm speaking out of turn here, but I believe that's why they added, one of the reasons why they added an extra. Obviously, money is the real answer, but that's one of the reasons why they added an extra game, because they're going to start. Every team is going to start doing these neutral site games. First London, and then Germany. Now we're doing Brazil. Like it's going to be more and more and more as this goes on. They're going to have 8 home, 8 road, 1 neutral, and that's the way it's going to be for a long time. So get used to a bunch of ridiculous stuff like this. We talked about how the teams are going to be playing, and go ahead, Dan.
Send a couple of teams in North Korea or something next year. Or,
sure.
You know, then Russia in the next couple of years. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty ridiculous. If you're putting the players and their family, and a lot of the players, they didn't even let their families travel with them. Also, Dan, thanks for being a friend of the show. Great call. They don't even let their families travel with them. Like, they didn't want their families to go with them because they're in danger. Like, Brazil's a beautiful country filled with beautiful people, but it is dangerous, and it does get wild there. And I don't blame them for being apprehensive, and I don't blame the players and the front offices for being upset that they have to do this.
Yeah, I really want to look into the background. I want to see what went into this and why they choose this. And it also makes me think 2 things. I wonder where Dallas is going to have to go, when they go, or if they're ever going to have to. Because if you're thinking of it from a real marketing strategy, what's the point of putting them outside the country if you're trying to raise awareness?
Yeah.
You know, they already have enough awareness, so put the other teams out there. And also, how will this affect football as a whole moving forward? This could be like a chess move of Roger Goodell hearing how soccer is always talked about more globally, hearing how no one hears about American football outside of America. So now he's like, okay, well, let me show you guys what it looks like, because there's leagues in Europe and all these other places, but it ain't an NFL game. It does not look like an NFL game. It's not going to have the type of money and presentation that an NFL game is going to have, because they're going to demand certain size stadiums, and they're going to need certain big areas. And I wonder if we could see American football in the Olympics, the bigger version, not the version we just saw. But I think as a whole, this can really help the sport of American football globally.
We'll get used to it, because more and more they're going to go out and visit new countries and new cities every year, trying to expand the game into new places. We talked about Brazil, and now we're going to actually talk about the game when we get back. We're going to start giving you our weekend preview as well. NFL talk when we get back. You listen to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Welcome back to 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. One Van Nunley here, one Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Real quick before we take you up to the 5 o'clock hour, let's go ahead and hit our predictions for tonight's game. I think these will be two of the best teams in the NFC all year long. This is one friend of the show I'm not betting on. Got no skin in the game. I'm not picking prize picks on this one. I'm not making a lineup on this one because I literally have no idea what's going to happen. They traveled across the world. They're in a new stadium in a new city with new fans. The Eagles are technically the home team because they get to stay like at a hotel facility right next to the stadium. The Packers are like 2 hours away. The Packers got to have a police escort to the stadium. It's going to get weird. Like, I don't know what the field conditions are going to be like. I don't know how the technology in their helmet is going to work. So this one is a weird one to me. If I had to prognosticate, the Eagles are slight favorites. So I will go, obviously, with the Green Bay Packers, baby. Jordan Love is going to pick that defense apart. He's got 4 weapons to choose from. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, and the Packers come out on top ever so slightly. But I told you the Ravens were going to win last night, so take that with a grain of salt. Zay?
I am going to go with the Packers for the win. Actually,
you flip-flopping on me now? You flip-flopping on me?
Yeah. I think the Eagles will win a close one, and I think it'll be controversial somehow. The game will be very close. I think Jordan Love will light them up, but I think the Eagles' rushing attack will keep the game under control. So I think it'll appear that they can't stop the Packers' offense, but I think they'll run the ball well. But I would not be surprised at all if the Eagles continue to struggle as they did last year and the Packers picked up right where they left off. And, Saquon's there, and it's easy to expect him to go off. But Derrick Henry, as we just saw, he needs time to gel.
Well, Derrick Henry only had like 12 or 13 carries last night. Like, they did not let him eat.
This is true. But it did seem like he was struggling to kind of get it going outside of the first touchdown he had.
Yeah.
So I expect Saquon to possibly have a similar effect, and we'll see.
I agree completely. Saquon's a dude. The Eagles had a really great pickup right there with Saquon. He's going to eat all year, but I don't think tonight is the night. Honestly, like, it's weird, like, just throwing my hands up and saying I don't know. That's really not what we do here on this program. But if there's ever one where I throw my hands up and say we'll see, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, the Eagles they're so unpredictable, and I think that's why you don't know. Like, the Packers, I think we have an idea of what to expect from them. But for the Eagles, I don't know which version of Philly we're going to see. They could be juggernauts, or they could also have issues. So,
all right, when we get back, we're going to unpackage the rest of the weekend for you. And there are a few games that I do know what's going to happen. Nostradamus hits you with his picks when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clear.
Sports Animal. Van Nunley here. Zay Johnson back at the studio. Co-host of 2 Men On, Fred Slow, out on assignment today. He's in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and he is going to give you all the insight on the game and the vibe. I'm just kidding. He is not in Brazil, but he'll be back with us on Monday. Monday Night Football going down at Howie's Sports page. The boys will rage at the page, and we'll be doing that every single Monday all year long. Free glizzies all game, halftime giveaways. We're giving out Lobo football tickets. We're giving out merch. We're giving out gear. We're giving out gift certificates to Howie's. Howie's is the place to be every Monday for Monday Night Football. Going to be an absolute banger. And now for our NFL preview for the weekend, we're just going to jump right into it. And we're going to start with the 11 o'clock slate on Sunday. And this is my favorite pick of the week.
Okay.
Arizona Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 6.5 point favorites. The Cardinals, I think, are going to impress people this year. I don't have the Cardinals as a playoff team, but I think the Cardinals will be greatly improved this year. And I have the Bills winning in a squeaker, but you take that plus 6.5 for the Arizona Cardinals, and you take that to the bank. The Cardinals are going to play a close game against the Bills, and I absolutely love the spread right now. Bills money line, Cardinals plus 6.5. This is my favorite all week. Zay, who do you got?
I'm going to also lean Arizona for this one, and the reason being is because I don't think the only thing with the Cardinals is people wonder about if they can stay healthy, right?
Yeah.
If Kyler can stay healthy in particular. And obviously he's going to be healthy. It's the first game of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard about any injuries to him in the training camp or leading up to the season. So I think that he will have a strong game. I think that he feels fresh, renewed. I think he does have a chip on his shoulder. His season was cut short last year. And I look for the Cardinals to also have a strong showing. And I don't think Harrison Jr. is going to have a slow transition at all.
Nope.
I mean, his dad knows the NFL better than anybody. So it does not shock me that his son is a stud. And I think that when you're a stud and it's very clear that it's because your dad was also a stud, I think that also cancels a lot of the transition period because he's built from those contents already. So I think this is the moment he's been waiting for, and he'll have a strong
So
showing
you
also.
got Arizona just winning straight up, not just with the spread. You got them winning the game?
Yeah, I would just take them.
That's a hot one.
Yeah, I would take them winning the game. The spread, I'm new to taking spreads. Right?
Feel free. You could just do pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm more of a pick'em guy. Even when it comes to any type of sports betting or anything, I'm more of a pick'em guy. I've seen too many. I'm a Cowboys fan. Okay, so there's too many times I went into a game saying this is for sure what's going to happen. Without a doubt, this is what's going to happen. And then my team is always so unpredictable. They're so inconsistent, and that just taught me that the NFL, as it is, can be very unpredictable. So when it comes to spreads, I try to stay away from it because I haven't had the best history when I was trying to be too specific with detailing what I thought was going to happen.
Joining us on the program, owner, operator, and head distiller of Teller Vodka here at Safehouse Distilling downtown on Gold, right in B6 and 7th. You know him. You love him. Welcome back to the program, Chris Lyric. How's it going, my dude?
What's up? How was your Friday?
It was good, man. So far, so good. I had finally cracked one of the cherry limeades, man. Those are money.
Oh, they're so good. They're
so
scary.
so good. I'm still a grapefruit guy. The grapefruit hibiscus still number one, but cherry limeade just jumped up into the 2 spot.
For Labor Day, they were doing the grapefruit as frozen slushies.
Woo!
That
sounds so good. So good. All right, let's talk about it. Duke City Championship Wrestling, locked in, year-end event. The story has been completed. Our hero, Hobo Hank, your favorite.
Hero.
Yes, you are the president of the Hobo Hank fan club.
That's what I found out.
He's got the belt back on, baby. Hobo Hank's the champ.
Oh, yeah. He fought for that. He bled.
Yeah. He bled for you, Chris.
There are stains on that mat.
Yes, there are so many stains on the mat. What's the hotness tonight at Safehouse Distilling downtown?
We got some art walk going on, so live painting, live drawings going on, drink specials, DJ, just good downtown night tonight.
Come see the wonderful bartendresses Erica and Kim down here. They got a lemon meringue pie on special, and come try the new cherry limeade.
And we have 4-packs available to go.
You can come here, have the best cocktail in Albuquerque, and take some package to go. That's a hell of a deal, brother.
Sounds like a good Friday.
New England Patriots go into Cincinnati. Cincinnati 7.5-point favorites. Look, the Patriots are garbage. I'm probably not going to bet on this game because I don't like more than a touchdown spreads. But Cincinnati is going to beat the hell out of the Patriots. The Patriots are hot garbage. They're going to have the number 1 pick next year.
In Brazil?
No, these guys aren't in Brazil. Philadelphia and Green Bay's in Brazil. These guys will be in the wonderful city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Zay, who do you got?
I'm going to take Cincy 28-10.
28-10. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there. Cincinnati's going to beat the hell out of them. Houston Texans go into Indianapolis. Texans are a 3-point favorite on the road. So neutral location means they're a 6-point favorite. I got Houston cruising. I think Indiana is going to win some games this year, but this is not one. Give me the Texans, and I will buy that spread down to 2.5. I love 2.5 right there for Houston. Give me Houston cruising. Zay?
Texans. I'm taking Houston. I've said it before. I do, unfortunately, believe in them. I believe in C.J. Stroud. I think he is not going to have a sophomore slump. Not even in the slightest, actually. I think an extra year of him being with his teammates and that receiving core will do well for him. And then, again, the only downfall for them in my eyes is Diggs getting into Stroud's head, and I would like to give him enough props to believe that he won't start doing that week 1. Now, if he goes out there and they are miscommunicating, we will see that week 1. And then that is when it's time for immediate panic for the Texans. If you see any arguing on the sideline, this is not one of the situations where you just ignore it and you just tell yourself, oh, it's fine, they're being passionate, forget about it, they'll get it together. Diggs will have to have a big ego look in the mirror. How about that? You have to look in the mirror and really swallow his pride in order for them to recover if that happens, because Stroud's the man, and they will get rid of Diggs real quick if that's in protection for their quarterback. So
hard agree.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Sunshine Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars go down to Miami to face the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 3-point favorites at home. Again, we know you get 2.5 points for being at home. So this is basically a pick 'em, and I love Jacksonville getting 3 points. I'll probably buy it up to 3.5 or 4. I like the Jaguars over the Dolphins straight up and with the points. But what I really, really like in this match is over 49.5. Both of these offenses are going to light it up. I am betting my mortgage on the over on this game. This is one of my favorites. I really like Arizona plus 6.5. I love Jacksonville, Miami over. I will be taking those to the book. Give me Jags straight up money line. Zay, who you got?
That's crazy.
Yes, I'm a crazy person.
I would not be able to get myself to bet on. I mean, I do think Trevor's a good quarterback.
Sure.
I don't think he can hang with the Dolphins offense. And I don't know if the Jaguars have the help on defense that they would need in order for them to hang with it. Now, Trevor has been in some shootouts in his life. Now, not on the streets, but in college.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. Trevor's not, I don't know the guy, right? It wouldn't shock me. But considering his college career, he's been in plenty of shootouts. He knows what it's like to have to put up 40, 50 points. So can he do it? Yes. Can the Jaguars do it? That's to be determined.
All right, so you got Miami in a squeaker is what I'm hearing? You don't think the Jags can hang?
No, they can't hang. I think Miami will just outgun them 2 touchdowns.
Okay, boom. All right, that's a big one. All right. Very, strong convictions from Zay Johnson. Tennessee Titans go into Chicago. Chicago, a 3.5-point favorite. I'm staying away from this one. I think Chicago's going to have a good year. I think Chicago's going to win about 10 games. I think Chicago is going to be the last team to sneak into the playoffs, but I don't trust rookie quarterbacks in their debuts. The last 12 years, Chris Lurig of Safehouse Distilling, the first quarterback taken is 0-11-1 in their debut. They have not won a game in 12 years if you're the first quarterback off the board. I don't see this continuing, but I'm not confident enough to put any cash on it. Give me the Bears in a squeaker, and if you have to put some cheese on this one, take Tennessee plus 3.5. Zay?
I would have to disagree again. I mean, a lot of what you said.
We're going to have a lot of fun on Monday.
I mean, how can I really put this? Chicago, I mean, dude, I think Caleb Williams will be the first one to win that game, right? I think he's going to be the first for a lot. We talked about we haven't seen a rookie quarterback really come out and be what we thought they were going to be projected-wise as far as from college very fast. And I think we saw him do things in his preseason game, even though he played a little bit. We saw him do some things that's like, all right, this guy's saying I'm here. And I think coming out this game, he's going to do the same thing. I think he's going to have his way with his defense. And mentally, he's a little weird, right? We can all agree he seems a little off. And a lot of times, the guys that are like that are the ones that are super cold-blooded. The ones that don't care what the situation is, they're going to do all they know how to do. We see it with Kyrie in multiple clutch moments. And then I think we're going to see it with Caleb Williams. And I think that's a good little comparison, honestly, in my mind.
Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Atlanta to play the new-look Falcons and Kirk Cousins. This is another one I really like. Atlanta is 3.5-point favorites. I am buying that down to 2.5 and betting with confidence. I got Atlanta beating Russell Wilson and his Steelers, or Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and the Steelers, or whoever, whatever combination of quarterbacks they try to throw at them. I think Atlanta has a bounce-back year. Not only do they win, but they cover. I'm buying it down to 2.5, and I'm loving every second of it. Zay?
So what was the line at again? Remind me.
3.5. Atlanta's at home.
And it's just, again, why I don't understand the spreads, because
Vegas does. They're pretty good at it.
Yeah,
There's a reason Vegas keeps the lights on every year.
But I feel like Atlanta's going to win by like 3 touchdowns, and I don't see how anyone should disagree. I mean, they have such a strong offense, and the Steelers have a terrible offense. This is definitely going to be one of those 28-3 games. I mean, 28-3, 35-7, 35-10, just garbage time stuff. But I really feel like I predict blowouts pretty well. And I think this is a very lopsided game, and Pittsburgh does not have the firepower to keep up with a Kirk Cousins offense.
Keeping going on the 11 o'clock slate, Carolina Panthers go down to New Orleans. I think this will be a comfortable, easy win for New Orleans. Carolina's just, they don't have the personnel. They're not there, and I'm not a Bryce Young truther. I don't think he is a difference-making quarterback. Give me the Saints easy. I'm not putting any cheddar on this one because I don't trust the Saints either, but I do believe the Saints will win this game. Zay, who you got?
I say give me New Orleans 17-14. Okay, now the Saints don't have a very good offense, but Bryce Young, second-year guy, you don't know what an offseason can do to somebody who hasn't clicked for yet. So first year to second year, there's your own stats for that, but there's a lot of quarterbacks who just understood something that changed everything over one offseason. And he could have one of those off seasons and be a completely different quarterback. I don't know. But based off what I've seen, I think that he can put up 14 points on New Orleans because their offense is so bad that I think he'll get the ball in decent field position. So I think he'll be able to get them some points and at least get off to a better start than he ever had last year.
We wrap up all the 11 o'clock games with an absolute stinker. No one, unless you're a Giants fan or Vikings fan, is going to be watching this game. Two of the worst teams in the NFC go up against each other. Vikings are 2-point favorites on the road. I'm staying away from this game, but give me the Vikings in a squeaker. Zay, who you got before we go to break?
Who's scoring 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, they wouldn't shock me with this one either. I mean, Vikings, but I don't think the Vikings can score 3 more touchdowns than the Giants. I'll take the Vikings 24-10.
I mean, this one, the over-under is 41.5 on Vikings Giants. That's a that's a pretty low over-under. I like the under on this one because both these teams are garbage. Chris Lurig, owner, operator of Safehouse Distilling and Teller Vodka downtown. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Get on down here, get you the best vodka and the best cocktails in town, and walk out with some new cherry limeade.
Enjoy your Friday.
I like that plan. When we get back, we wrap up NFL Pick'ems, and we do it with Voice the Isotopes, Josh Sushan. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Brought to you by
.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. One more segment before we hand it over to NFL football on Westwood One. As the Eagles and Packers play each other in Brazil for some reason. Okay. Put everyone in danger. Super smart move, NFL. We wrap up our NFL pick'ems, and we're doing rapid fire, Zay. None of your genius analysis. I just want to see who wins.
Okay.
We do the 2 o'clock. Broncos are 6-point dogs in Seattle. I think Seattle is going to blow them away. I'm actually taking Seattle -6. Zay?
I agree. Seattle. Did you want to bring Mr. Sush on it? Is he allowed? Is he allowed to do that?
Oh, you mean genius NFL prognosticator Josh Sushan?
Yes.
Of course, bring him in. The Vegas Raiders, Josh Sushan's team, are 3-point.
What is that? What I heard?
Yes, you're NFL insider Josh Sushan, our man in the streets.
All right. How can I misinform you about a sport I follow very little until about 4 weeks from now?
Yeah, for sure. All right, your Raiders are going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Raiders are 3-point dogs. I actually like the Raiders. I think they get some turnovers off Herbert, and the Raiders beat the Chargers. Zay?
I think Fred's poisoning you with Justin Herbert talk.
Nope.
I think Justin Herbert's going to win this one. I think Justin Herbert's going to pull this one off.
Okay.
So everybody he's legit.
Your Dallas Cowboys, for whatever reason, are 2.5-point dogs on the road in Cleveland. I like Dallas winning this thing. I like Dallas with the points. I like Dallas straight up, and I like the over. I think they're going to beat up on Cleveland, and I'm not exactly impartial because I hate Deshaun Watson. Zay?
I think people have forgotten what Dallas does to average or below average teams. I think Cleveland's average. This will get ugly. 38-24.
I like Tampa Bay over Washington in Tampa Bay. I think they're going to cruise. Jalen Daniels is a dude, but he's a rookie playing in his first game. Give me Tampa Bay. Zay?
I like Jaden Daniels out the gate. I'm a big on the rookie quarterbacks this year. I think they're in for something.
All right, and I got Detroit -4.5 for Sunday night football. I think the Rams don't suck, but Detroit is significantly better. Give me the Lions -4.5. And then, of course, we'll give you our Monday night football previews live from Howie's on Monday night. Make sure you go and hang with the boys. Best place in town to watch football is at Howie Sports page. Zay, Rams or Lions?
Lions.
Smart.
Lions.
All right, thanks for letting us scratch the rest of that itch, Sushan. What is the hotness in Isotopesville?
Whoa, man. Let's see. What's the hotness with the isotopes? That's what you want to know?
Yes, please.
The hotness is that every single ballpark in the PCL has the worst ever cell phone connection. That seems to be the word on the street.
Uh-oh.
So our topes are – go ahead, Sush.
Yeah, he
the boys need to get hot. Yesterday was a devastating loss. They lost the game. They had a chance to win. They were leading by a couple of runs, and they lose the game in the standings. So whenever you're trying to make up ground – It feels like it's 2 steps backward when you lose and the team that you're chasing wins. So there's very little margin for error. I don't know if they need to run the table completely the rest of the year, but it's pretty darn close to it after yesterday's loss.
That is an absolute bummer. You got to win these close ones when you're chasing, and they are chasing Tacoma. Dude, how did my boy Josh Rogers pitch yesterday?
Yeah, Josh pitched well. It felt like it was a very typical Rodgers outing in which he kept the team in the game. He didn't dominate, but he pitched effectively. Defense let him down, which it feels like I've said this every time that he's pitched. The defense let him down. I thought he did a good job of minimizing the damage after some plays were not made behind him, which should have been made. Really, that's the story of the 2024 Isotopes. They just have not caught the ball the way that you need to catch the ball at this level. There's just too many throwing errors, too many balls that just don't get made, too many double plays that don't get turned, and it's cost them. It cost you a run here, and that cost you a game here, and then that adds up. But overall, he battled his butt off, and he left the game tied after 5 innings, and then Tacoma wins at 4-3 in the with a home run in the bottom of the eighth.
I put the world on no hitter alert yesterday, and it lasted 1 inning. So go me.
Yeah, go Van.
Yeah, that was an exciting first inning, baby.
You know, I was kind of curious how long the Chopes could go without giving up a run. You know, because it was 9 the day before, and then it was 4 from the previous one. So it was 13 in a row going into yesterday, and then Van's no-hitter prediction fell apart.
Fast.
So you're like, all right, we got 14 straight zeros here, 14 straight donuts. Let's go. And then comes an error, then comes a walk, then comes another error. Next thing you know, there's a run, and there goes all that.
So what's the vibe in the locker room right now? Are the boys like poised to make a run? Like, is it something they're talking about, or is it just Pilo got the boys, business as usual?
You know, it's an interesting dynamic with baseball because guys hardly ever talk about the standings, the race, what they have to do. And that's the case in April. That's in September. Like, everybody just knows, right? Like, it's just unspoken. Everyone knows. They've all got phones. They've all got stat packs. They can all figure it out. You know, maybe someone who just arrives from AA doesn't quite know, oh, there was the first half and there was the second half and all that. But it's rare for guys at this level to sit around and be like, hey, come on, let's try really hard, Like, your job is that's the exact opposite of that. It's your job to get ready and do the best that you can every single day for 150 games, 6 months, and then you kind of see what happens from there,
Try hard's great advice.
Sushan, who's on the pregame, and where can the friends of the show hear the pregame?
94.5, The Pit, AM 1050, KTBL. Because the NFL wants to take over every day of the week, we get preempted. So we are on 94.5, The Pit, AM 1050, KTBL. A shortened pregame. It'll be at 7:50 Mountain Time. First pitch, 8:05 Mountain Time.
Sushan, you're the best in the biz. Have a call tonight, brother.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Appreciate you. NFL's back, friend of the show. Go crazy. We'll recap all of our predictions, and we'll recap the whole weekend on Monday at Howie Sports page. I'll tell you how wrong Zay was about the weekend. And stay safe out there, Burke. Good job today, Zay.
Thank you. Hey, Cowboy fans, take your cold showers. We're going to win this weekend.
I love that so much. I hope they demolish Deshaun Watson. Stay safe out there, friend of the show. Love you, Burke.